Gotta get this lined up. Hello and welcome to another video on my channel. Today we are going to be talking about money in ballet. I made a very long video about this a few months ago, but it has come to my attention that a lot of people don't know how payment and money works. When it comes to freelancing, just like all of the little details, I've been doing this for a few years now, so I sometimes tend to forget that people just don't know because you're not in this world or you're not a freelance dancer. So I'm going to try to answer all of these little questions that I see asked a lot. I have some of them screenshotted, so I will add them in the video as I go. So one of the most asked questions I get is when I get paid to perform and they pay me my set rate, do I also get paid for rehearsals? Because you see, I post constantly that I'm in the studio rehearsing. So usually that payment is all grouped into my rate and I am not paid separately for rehearsals, but it does depend on who's hiring me, the organization, the people, because it can differ depending on who it is. I do some performances where I am paid extra on top of my rate for dress rehearsals, any rehearsal that I have to go to with them in the theater or in the studio, I do get paid extra. Another question that's very commonly asked is, do I pay for my flights, transportation, hotels, all of that involves the guesting? I pay for nothing. So all of the expenses are paid for by the people that hire me, which is so cool to me. So grateful. So especially when you see me vlogging in like a hotel room or you see me going on a flight, like when I went to Mexico or New York, all of that is paid for by them. It doesn't come out of my rate and I don't pay for them. My partner doesn't pay for it. This question right here, it's so funny to me because I'm not laughing at the commenter, but it's just not true at all. Basically they're asking if guys get paid less because they do less. No, absolutely not. Many times, in many cases, guys are actually paid more than the girl and a lot more. Like they can be paid up to double what the girl makes because of the lack of men, professional men in the ballet world. There are far more women, so it's supply and demand. It is very difficult to find men that are not only good at dancing, but they're good at partnering, proficient in their technique. So no, men do not get paid less. If anything, women get paid less, which leads me to my next question. Do my partner and I get paid the same? So because I am a freelance dancer and I decide my rate and I negotiate and all of that, I'm in charge of payment and I do not allow my partner to be paid more than me. I always make sure that we are paid equally. This is a luxury that I have as a freelance dancer because I'm the one that is negotiating the contract. I'm the one that is advocating for myself. Whereas when you are in a ballet company, you can advocate for yourself, of course, but your hands are tied a bit more. So yes, my partners and I are always paid equally, and I will not do a job if they want to pay my partner more. Another question is, when do they pay me? Do they pay me after the performance? And yes, this is very standard. After we perform, we are pretty much usually handed a check. And I kid you not, almost every single time that this happens, it is such a surreal feeling to me because I enjoy the process so much. All of the rehearsals leading up until the performances, being in the theater, performing is such a joy and such a big passion of mine that even still, after years of being paid to perform, when they hand me that check, I just can't believe that I'm paid to do it. It is so crazy to me. But yes, they pay us after we perform, after we've done what we're supposed to do, hopefully have done it well, we are paid. And the last thing I will share today is a bit of a range of payment because I know people are dying to know, and I know there's really no one talking about this, not anyone that I've seen. So I'll give you a range for freelance dancers without giving you my rate, because that is very private and personal. So if you are younger and more inexperienced, maybe just starting out with guesting, a common rate is $200 to $500 per show. So $200 to $500 per performance. Now, at the opposite end of the spectrum, if you are a principal dancer, well-known, lots of experience, maybe a little bit older, maybe you're a part of a company and you're being hired to guest somewhere, that rate is definitely going to be a lot higher. I've heard that some dancers charge $1,500 per show, which in my opinion is way too low if you are, principal in a company. It can go up to $3,000 per show, and then depending on if it's a gala, that's probably the rate for a gala. If it's a full-length ballet, then the price is definitely going to be on the higher end, maybe more like the $2,000 to $3,000. And really depending on who you are, I think you could charge more than that. I just don't know if they are charging more than that, but they should be. So that is the range. Some people say we are underpaid, and we are underpaid. But there's not a lot of funding for the arts, not a lot of support for the arts in the United States of America. And everything I'm talking about today in this video is for the USA, because that's where I am and that's where I perform primarily. Although I did perform in Mexico this summer, but those are the rates that I know of in the USA. This is why most ballet dancers, whether you're in a company, whether you're freelancing, doesn't matter. You have to have a second job. Some have to have a third job to support themselves. But this is what we do because we love it. So those are the most frequently asked questions that I've seen recently. If you have any more, please feel free to leave them in the comments. I love being transparent about this and not only educating those that are curious, but also educating young dancers that are coming up and interested in becoming professional dancers, as well as educating their parents and their families about it, because I know my parents didn't know, I didn't know. So it's really nice when someone else talks about it. So I hope this was helpful and insightful, and thank you so much for watching. I will talk to you later.